Very good evening to you, Sports World. I'm Damien Best. Well, West Indies series victory over Bangladesh yesterday is reflected in the latest release of the ICC T20 player rankings. Opener Evan Lewis has vaulted 11 places into the top 5 of the batting rankings following his half-century in Dhaka. Left-hander now lies 4th and is only behind top-ranked Pakistani Babar Azam, New Zealander Colin Munro and Australian Aaron Finch, who lies 3rd. Lewis, who smashed 89 as West Indies beat Bangladesh by 50 runs to claim the 3-match series 2-1, is the only active West Indies player in the top 50, with veteran Marlon Samuels lying 42nd. In the bowling rankings, seamer Kemo Paul has been rewarded with a big leap following his career-best 5-wicket haul yesterday. The 20-year-old climbed 42 places to 30th after finishing the series with 7 wickets and was also rewarded for his knocks of 28 and 29 in the opening 2 matches by climbing 34 places in the batting rankings. Captain Carlos Brathwaite, meanwhile, who had a modest series with just 2 wickets, moved up 8 spots to 22nd in the bowling rankings. He is the highest-ranked West Indies bowler, overhauling the non-active Samuel Badri in 23rd. Afghanistan leg spinner Rashid Khan sits top of the bowling rankings. Well, the unbeaten Blue Barracudas will try to lift this year's Barbados Under-18 Christmas Basketball Invitational Trophy when they meet the Purple Falcons in the finals tonight. Barracudas kept their 100% record intact after beating the Black Millipedes in last night's semifinals at UWI, while the Falcons booked their spot with victory over the Yellow Bumblebees. CBC's Melissa Farley reports.
This was a time for the Millipedes to end Barracuda's winning streak at this semifinal stage. But they couldn't get the start they wanted, and minor errors caused them vital points as Khalil Austin, with 19 to his name, took advantage for Barracudas. Millipedes found getting the ball through the hoop difficult at times, but Malik Clark seemed to always be there around the corner to make the shot. He had 22 points. 13 went to Justin Bailey as Barracudas pushed ahead despite being down 1 point at the end of the first quarter. And with that slight lead, Clark stretched it just a bit. But when the whistle blew at halftime, Austin made sure Barracudas held an 18 points lead. Second half action now, and Millipedes took it up a notch. Dion Hunt with a game-high 25 points. He continued to rally his troops hard as Millipedes kept reducing the deficit. A deficit that was now down from 18 to 7, 66 to 59, and Barracudas were still up. Good partnership between Captain Darron Hurley and Joshav Grant kept Barracudas on top, with both having 15 points apiece. The Millipedes form dropped a bit and was a little sluggish in this final quarter. The deficit was now increasing once again from 7 to 10, and Bailey was still at it. But it was time to put a wrap on this first semi-final, and Barracudas will head into tonight's final unbeaten 85 to 75. They will face the Purple Falcons, who dominated this second semi-final against the Yellow Bumblebees. But Falcons' dominance was not in this first half, having been down 7 at the first quarter and 5 at the second. That's Kieran Alexander with a game-high 35 points. He was assisted with 13 from Christopher Harewood and Simeon Maynard with 18. Yellow Bumblebees with a 5 points lead at the half, 41 to 36. Now this was when Falcons realized it was do or die. Time and some buzzing bees stood between them and a berth in the final. And Chakorsi Bordy led their charge with an impressive 32 points as they overturned the deficit and took the third quarter by 4, 65 to 61. Falcons kept the points piling up in the final session. Bordy kept making his way to the hoop, and he had Brandon Rook there with him shooting 20 points. The Bees were still in the game though, and Maynard was still making his moves. But with hard luck, the Bees will fall. Falcons captain Carl Tharp Jr. took his team home, adding 20 points to win the game by 6, 87 to 81. Melissa Farley, CBC Sports.
Well, thanks, Melissa. Top female squash player Megan Bess ended the year with bronze at the recently concluded U.S. Junior Open in Boston last week. However, having gone there as the #1 seed, she felt very disappointed in not retaining her title. Bess told CBC Sports she knows the weaknesses she has to improve on.
I had a pretty good year this year. So I was seeming all pretty good to me so far. I was like, okay, my training's going pretty well. I'm doing everything pretty well. But the turning point was in this same tournament in the semifinals, where she had a perfect game. I really saw like what I needed, how she exploited my weaknesses, and from that I see what I need to work on. Coming out of this, I know like what I need to do, like the weaknesses that I need to improve on, and hopefully I can improve on those weaknesses for next year. But obviously next year is a new division for me because I'll be 17, so I'll be moving up to the under 19 division. So the competition is going to be a little more stiff. But as I said, I know that what I need to improve and what I need to do to take my game to the next level. So hopefully I can do that for next year.
Well, Best expects 2019 to be a hectic year for her, especially since she recently started school in Cincinnati.
We're going to have a lot of matches as well in the season, so it's a huge change for me in terms of like the match play I'll have, which is good for me for my game. So yes, it's going to be a rough year. I have my junior and senior titles to retain in nationals and the Caribbean level. I'll have, I think, a couple tournaments at the end of the year, like the same U.S. Open, which I'll be moving up in a new division. So I'll be training hard towards that to try and get gold again.